Hang on, I'll transfer your call. Are you transferred now? Try it now. Try it now. Hello? I still don't know how this thing works. There's the LP, there's the 45, and there's the EP. Beach Boys fans don't talk a whole lot about EPs, or extended plays as they're also known. They tend to be sort of brushed under the rug, and somewhat rightfully so, because the Beach Boys didn't release too many of those, at least not in the United States. Overseas, a slightly different story. Today I thought we'd take a look at the 3 major Beach Boys EPs from the United States and see what's special about them, or why they were successful, or perhaps not successful, and maybe sort of broaden our Beach Boys horizons beyond the usual singles and LPs. First of all, an apology for my last Beach Boys video, The Sounds of Summer, Past, Present, and Future. I made a couple very big mistakes, which I addressed in the description box below. And yeah, I should have been a little more careful during the editing process. I was right the first time. When I edited the video, I made it wrong. So please forgive me there. I need to be more careful in the future. And as a bit of an answer there, next Beach Boys video is going to be about the unofficial releases there. Some of the CDs that are in the gray area of if they're legitimate or not and so on. I was going to release that today, and I thought, you know what? After messing it up so badly last time, I better wait and double check my research and whatnot. So I thought today we'll do something a little smaller and just kind of take it from there. So let's talk EPs. Our first one on our list is from 1964, and you saw it briefly earlier. I'll take it out of the sleeve here. I don't have the original picture sleeve, unfortunately. That is called 4 by the Beach Boys. 4 songs, 2 on each side of this record. And this still plays at 45 speed, at least my copy does. Those 4 songs, oops, there it goes, came from the All Summer Long LP. So they chose 4 tunes from this LP to release on this EP. On one side we have A Little Honda and Hushabye, and on the other, Wendy and Don't Back Down. So a good variety. You know, we've got a motorcycle song, a song about girls, we have a cover, and we have a surfing song. So a good mixture there. This one also made it to CD. It was released as disc 10 in the Beach Boys singles box, which I have right here. It's in this, all these different singles. They unfortunately only made one of these. It never really caught on enough for there to be more, but they issued their singles in CD form in this set, and they included this. It has actually 8 tracks, each song's in mono and then also in stereo. So it's pretty neat to have it. And this was the original picture sleeve. Again, mine didn't have the sleeve. I couldn't find one with the sleeve, but it's pretty neat. It's a nice little EP, kind of a good sampler for the All Summer Long album. Not really a lot to say about it. It was a big commercial success. It was a great seller and whatnot. It kind of made me surprised that they didn't do more of them. But for some reason I just thought there wasn't much of a market. Maybe they figured between the LPs and the 45s they were covered. Really didn't need to make a bunch of EPs. I don't know. England and continental Europe, they got quite a few more, and someday we'll talk about those, not today, and see what all they have. But for now, if you're looking for just a quick recapitulation of the All Summer Long LP, you could say, oh hey, you know, let's just throw this on and see what we got. So that's 1 down, a whopping 2 to go. A lot of Beach Boys fans aren't too keen on their 70s catalog. I love their 70s work. It's so varied and bizarre, and they're desperately trying to figure out who they are and what they're doing. But most every Beach Boys fan at least kind of likes, if not loves, Holland. Holland, their mid-70s album, one of their last more sort of avant-garde ones. They try a lot of different things in there. And I enjoy Holland. It's pretty cool, and it's very unique in their catalog too. And here's actually something really cool. I found a copy that still had the original lyrics in it. That was really neat too. A lot of fun songs on there. Funky Pretty is one of my favorites. The California Saga. Actually a 3-part song, but only one they ever do live, or the only one that was a single was the 3rd part, which is kind of bizarre, getting one piece of a trilogy, who knows. But something that we occasionally forget is that Holland came packed with an EP, known as Mount Vernon and Fairway. So this was originally packaged with this LP. It even says on the back it also includes one, I'll read it out loud for you. This album includes one 12-inch and one 7-inch 33 1/3 RPM disc, or 1.5 long-playing records. There you go. Straight from the horse's mouth. So this was kind of a bonus feature, and the production history behind this EP is pretty bizarre. Brian Wilson had this idea to make some kind of magical musical fairy tale, and I think it would have turned out really good if he'd had a chance to finish it. It was released in sort of an unfinished state. Jack Riley, their manager at the time, who was desperately trying to prove to the world the Beach Boys were still hip and cool, he did this weird narration over it. The music is good. His narration I can't stand. And there is a version without him that was released in the 90s on the Good Vibrations box set. And someday I'll do a review on that. Again, not today. But I like that version better. The music's really interesting, but as a story it completely fails. Just when it starts to get going and there's some kind of conflict happening, it literally ends and says, you know, well, maybe someday we'll see the Pied Piper again. And it's just, whatever, I don't know. It seems to be like some kind of drug-induced recorded fantasy. I don't know. But it's an interesting curio. I think it's the weakest part of the Holland experience. I would much rather have had We Got Love, which was famously an outtake on some copies of Holland, mine included. Yeah, I would have rather had something like that. I think when we get the big Holland box set, maybe this year or next year, we'll get a little more insight into this thing and maybe a more enjoyable version of it. But it just strikes me as this very weird curio that wasn't completely thought out. It was kind of just a thing that people felt like doing, and then they didn't really think it through. So, alright, that's 2 down, 1 to go. Put Holland off to the side here. Our last EP is a digital one. So I printed out a picture of the brilliant cover, I guess, is cover really an appropriate term? I don't know. The brilliant artwork that we got. The Beach Boys 1969, at the bottom, I'm Going Your Way. This was released digital only in December of 2019, and this was kind of intended as a little teaser for the upcoming, move this out of the way, the upcoming is kind of an exaggeration, it would be a long time before we get released, but the eventual Feel Flows. This is the 5 CD Feel Flows here. It has the whole book, and then 5 discs of Beach Boys stuff, Sunflower and Surf's Up in their entirety, outtakes, alternate takes, all kinds of stuff. This is such a cool set, and I can't recommend it enough. And of course you could always get Feel Flows on vinyl. This is the colorful vinyl. 2 of the records are orange and 2 are blue. This came from the Beach Boys website, and it had a poster in it and a bunch of other awesome things. I really love both of these, and they're so fun to listen to. There's so much great stuff from their 70s catalog that people just kind of pass by, but some of the most fascinating tracks, really. But back to this. This EP was intended as sort of a teaser for those releases that I just showed you. So it had 3 tracks. Dennis's I'm Going Your Way, a very early version of the Sunflower opener, Slip On Through, which has no vocals, it's just the instruments. And then them doing a wordless vocal, them singing the song Carnival, or Over the Waves, as it's also known. It's kind of a classical music piece that they redid in their style. The cuts on the digital version, the takes, are different than those on Feel Flows. They're different lengths. I'm Going Your Way has differences in the lyrics and the way the lyrics are like presented, that kind of thing. They're in a different order, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. There's parts, instrumental parts are in one, not in the other, or they're like reversed in position. The Slip On Through is basically the same between Feel Flows and here. There's less chatter, like less studio intro stuff on the Feel Flows version. And the Carnival thing, same deal. On Feel Flows, it's shorter because they cut out all of the sort of, like the intro, hey, take one, and some of the studio directions snipped out. But they're basically the same. They're not different enough that if you were to only listen to this EP, it's not like you'd be cheated out of an experience. And truthfully, those 3 tracks aren't really integral to the Feel Flows experience anyway. It's not like they're the first things on the records or on the discs. They're pushed back. I'm not even sure that all 3 of them are even on this LP one, but on the CD one, quite a few things come before it. They're very much sort of an afterthought. So what's your stance on EPs? Do you have Feel Flows or any of these other things I just showed you? Please feel free to comment below with your thoughts on the Beach Boys catalog. Tune in next week for another VHS video, and then in 2 weeks to see the best of the unofficial Beach Boys. Get that glare off of there for you. And until next time, my friends, go out there and have fun all summer long. Thank you.